If there was one thing that you wish men understood better about women, what would it be?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Pick your damn clothes up off the floor.
Oh my god, it's of course we're talking about CHOREPLAY, right? Because you know that's what'll make you more attractive to a girl. So it's really funny that girls say stuff like this, right? And either they're totally clueless or they're doing it on purpose. But what they want is for the men that they're actually attracted to and the men that they actually want to sleep with, for those men to then do what beta males do, right? To kiss up to them, to suck up to them, to do more for them, right? And of course, they're not going to get that, so...
What was that again? I couldn't hear.
Pick your damn clothes up off the floor.
Okay, okay. Why can't women just remember to leave the damn toilet seat up?
You know, that's a great question. Goes both ways.
Okay.
Yeah, it totally goes both ways. This is the whole like equal relationship garbage, right? That women try to sell men on, but of course that's not how the world works at all. Equal relationships don't exist. And also, is anybody else noticing the low level of contempt from this girl, or is it just me? Like, too much contempt, too much negativity. Okay, anyway.
Okay. Women often talk about hormones influencing their emotions and behavior. Why are there some women who shame men for being horny when testosterone is a male hormone?
Uh-oh! That's a great question. Because, of course, it's rules for thee and not for me, right? So the point is that men need to have their hormone constrained, but women can do whatever they want. The point is that it's a greater grab at power, right? The idea is that women's goal in life is to maximally constrain men and to maximize their own agency. Of course, not all women are like this, but I'm saying women as a group, that's their sort of biological goal in order for them to achieve their aims, right? So
These interview questions seem super sexist, and I'm not going to continue this.
I was right! I called it! Of course. Look, she's so upset when Right, so anything that doesn't favor men, anything that doesn't favor women, the girl's going to get mad and walk away, right? Of course. Privilege is invisible to those that have it. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hitting all for notifications. Also, if you're on my podcast, please give me a follow and rate me 5 stars. If you'd like me to comment on a video compilation, please send it to theheliosblog@gmail.com. I could also comment on a Reddit post if you like. That works for me too.
Thanks so much, though.
Doesn't it go both ways, though?
They seem all pretty sexist. That's okay, though. Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay.
Why are there some women who get grossed out and offended at dirty jokes, but they're willing to do those same dirty things in the bedroom?
Uh-oh! I actually know the answer to this. It's because women are very reputation-oriented, right? So they don't ever want to give off the impression that they're a bad girl, because if they do give off that impression, then they're going to push away men who have a disgust reaction to women who are, having their fun, let's just say. But when they're behind closed doors, away from prying eyes, of course they're going to do what they're going to do. And that's why we have the modern world where 80% of women are sharing the top 5% of men in terms of bedroom fun. Just look at Tinder, right? So there you go.
I think it has a lot to do with they don't want to be put on Front Street right there and then. But behind...
Right. Okay, so she's right. It has to do with their reputation guarding. So she's answering honestly, actually.
closed doors, she's a freak in the sheets.
Lady in the streets. Is it harder for a man to control his desires or for a woman to control her emotions?
Oh, we all know the answer to that question. In fact, society would not run if men weren't able to control their desires. So men are definitely able to control it. And in fact, if you don't control your desires as a man, you go to jail. So men are definitely better at controlling their desires than women are at controlling their emotions. For women to control their emotions is actually, it's not only a rare skill, but it's a valued skill that men who are looking for a girl to be their wife desire. And it's kind of sad that there are so few women that are able to control their emotions and just let them run free. I think that learning self-control is actually good for both men and women.
100% for a man to control his desires. As men, we're naturally horny and we want sex. We think about sex all the time.
Women often talk about hormones influencing their emotions and behavior. Why are there some women who shame men for being horny when testosterone is a male hormone?
You know what? That's a good one, bro. And honestly, man, that's a good one. I never even thought about that, man. And honestly, I'm gonna actually use that. I don't have an answer for that one, but I'm gonna use that.
Okay, so he doesn't have an answer, but I do. As I said before, it has to do with male and female agency, right? So in order to maximize the power of the matriarchy, right, men need to be brought low. And the way that they're brought low is through the thing that they can't control, which is their hormone, testosterone. A man doesn't choose to have 10 times the horniness of a girl, right? But of course, men must learn to control their sex drive in order to be successful. So, but you don't choose as a man to be born with that drive. So it's an insult to be shamed for it, and it's disrespectful, of course.
Well, why are men expected to accept female hormones, but women won't accept male hormones?
Because we are supposed to be the stronger vessel, so it's easy for us not to act on emotion, and when we act on, supposed to act on logics.
I mean, we are supposed to be the greater vessel, they say, but yet we're supposed to have an equal relationship, you see? So it's rules for thee and not for me. So the idea is women can just do whatever they want without consequence or control, but men must control themselves and be traditional and be providers. Like, and this is the inherent irony of 2022 dating, right? Before, women knew their place, but now they don't, right? They don't know the place that they should be in order to be happy. And that's what's leading to a lot of modern misery. Okay, let's move on.
I understand what you're saying. I honestly think that's a really good question, and I can confidently say I've never thought about that. Never, ever.
Well, in other words, why are men expected to accept female hormones, but women won't accept male hormones?
Wow.
Again, maximizing agency is the point. And again, a lot of women, especially like when they're young, right? They don't know what they're doing. They're just going by the cultural script. If the cultural script changes, then these young women will follow it, right? And it used to be a different cultural script, so it's not a surprise if it changes. And in fact, I believe that it will change just through natural selection. Anyway, please leave a comment if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. And guys, if you're on the podcast and you don't know how to give me a comment, you can send it to theheliosblog@gmail.com, or you could go to my YouTube channel and comment, because usually this stuff that you hear on the podcast, it's the same in the videos. So maybe the timing is slightly different on the YouTube channel and the podcast, but it's pretty similar. Okay.
That's a really good question. That makes me so ignorant, but I've never once been, I've definitely been like, wow, what a horny man, but I've been like, oh, my period, I'm so mean. Okay, wow. Okay. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm ignorant to that one.
How do you make a hormone? You don't pay her.
Wait, what? He's asking them, how do you make a hormone? Okay, well, I can explain if you want the biological explanation. It has to do with the thyroid gland, and also the ovaries for women and the testes for men. So that's what produces the hormones. So the things that make you a man and a woman are the things that that produce the hormones that perpetuate it, right? And of course, when you're young, like as a child, you're kind of similar, like men and women are kind of the same. But then as they split off, after puberty, then they start to split in their, sort of behavior, desires, physical appearance, etc. More.
Okay, I just had to throw it in. Okay. You guys.
I think he was making A joke. Okay, sex. Wow, I didn't even get it. Okay, I'm so on my science here that I didn't realize it was a joke. Okay. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
It's got a good sense of humor.
No,
Okay.
that'll-
Okay.
Worst
That'll
joke. Best
definitely
joke.
make
Best
a
joke.
hormone.
Best joke.
Women often describe themselves as complicated, emotional, even crazy. Do you think women actually want to be understood?
No is the answer to that question. Because if women are not able to be understood, then they can manipulate the narrative, right? They can then determine what they are, and if they can constantly shift the goalposts and shift what it is that they are and what it is that they want, then they can demand more and more without consequence, right? So effectively, because culturally women teach men anti-game, they don't teach men how they actually are, but women teach each other how men actually are. What ends up happening is that men become progressively more clueless, and because these men become progressively more clueless, they give more and more to women. And so what we get is the modern world where you have the matriarchy, where women basically rule everything, and the men think they're actually in charge. And so you get women that are favored in literally every possible avenue you could imagine, versus men who are not.
You know what? To be honest, a woman don't even understand herself, because think about it. She can't control her emotions, especially when she's maybe on her cycle or dealing with the hormones, having kids. So I believe a woman really don't know themselves, so that's why it's so hard and women get so frustrated for a man trying to figure out who they are, because
I mean, it's not true. Men do know what women are like, and it is very possible to predict women's behavior. Maybe not in the individual instant. Maybe her behavior might not be predictable, but women as a group have a predictable set of behaviors that can be used to generalize. Also, what's funny is that it was Schopenhauer himself, the philosopher, that said that that women don't understand themselves. And not only this, he said that women don't really care about individual men. Their behavior is more towards the species. It's more towards natural selection. So it's very interesting that this guy here would say that. Again, women's role in life, in a biological sense, is to be the selector of the human race, and they determine who has children and who doesn't. So the idea is that because women are the selectors, they have the burden of choosing the next generation, and that kind of biologically makes them have to act for the species and not for the individual.
they really don't know who they are.
Well, wouldn't that hold them to a standard?
It should hold them to a standard.
Like, in other words, if women were understood, wouldn't that hold, like, all women to a standard?
Yes, but I still feel like we're all different in like many ways. Like
Okay, but again, yes, in the sense that there are variations in behavior between people. It's true, people are all special snowflakes. But in the sense that we are all Homo sapiens and we all have generalizable behaviors and attitudes, men and women, it is untrue that we're all different. In fact, if you get a group of women, it's quite easy to predict how they will behave given certain conditions. So, I mean, again, if you understand the underlying biology and sociology of what's going on. So it's ridiculous for them to say that there are individual mild variations means that there are no generalizable behaviors or attitudes.
I can be crazy and she can be crazy, but we're different crazy.
Okay, if all
Okay, but it doesn't matter if you're different crazy if you're both crazy. Even her own logic contradicts the idea that women can't be predicted, right? Like, anyway.
if all women are so different, why do we have the expression know how to treat a woman? Wouldn't that imply that there's like a universal nature that all women exhibit?
Wow. Yes. Yes.
Indeed, and there is a universal nature. And again, I have said multiple times on the channel what it is that women want. So it's not subtle anymore, right? Like, women want winners. Women choose winners. Women want attention so that they can better choose winners. Women are the selectors of the human race, etc. Like, just keep listening to my videos, and you'll get an exact idea of what women are like and what women want. It's not something that is impossible to know, or something that is surprising, or mystical or magical. It's just different.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Why are there some women on their periods capable of acting cool and calm at work, yet behave irritable at home around her loved ones?
Oh, I know this. The answer to this question. That is a matter of respect. You see? Because if the woman has no respect for you, then she's not going to restrain her behaviors around you. She's going to be an ass to you, and invite. She's going to push the boundaries, right? So you as a man need to demand a certain standard of behavior, right? If you accept any kind of behavior from your girl, the behavior is going to get worse and worse with time, and she'll destroy your relationship. So the second you see disrespectful behavior rear its head, you have to stamp it down. You cannot allow for negative behavior to repeat or to escalate. And again, if the behavior keeps getting worse despite your attempts to, keep the situation peaceful, then the best option for you is to walk away. The best option for you is to end the relationship. Because what these women in marriages and, live-in cohabitation arrangements are doing is they know the guy can't leave without negative consequences, and so they're taking advantage of the situation in order to basically get what they want. They're leveraging their power of you having difficulty walking away. And so you as a man should prevent this problem by not cohabitating, not getting married, so that you maintain the power to walk away, so that in the long run, in the big picture, you maintain your power overall.
Well, that's kind of a tough question, because you have to act nice and professional in the workplace, or else you're labeled as a bitch.
Right, but you're labeled as the B word at home as well if you act that way. It's just the guy is forced to take it. And what she's effectively saying by what she's saying here, by saying that you have to act nice in the workplace, is she's saying how I behave in the workplace and how I'm perceived there is more important to me than how I'm perceived by my husband. You see? How I'm perceived by my children. So it shows that the priority has shifted from caring about your family to caring about your corporatist oligarch, right? Your boss at work, effectively.
So then once you get home, and you can kind of put down that wall.
But doesn't that prove that women are capable of controlling their emotions?
They are indeed. They're totally capable of it. And in fact, if your girl is not controlling her emotions in front of you and when she's with you, it's actually a great sign of disrespect. And you should not accept it. You should actually leave the situation if she's behaving that way with you.
Yeah, but when you're at home in your own thing, it should be whatever.
It should be whatever. The implication is I should be able to do whatever I want when I'm at home. I should be the ruler of my relationships, and whoever I'm with should just take it. Well, no. The man is providing you with all the benefits that you get for being in a relationship, and as a result, there are certain standards of behavior that apply to that situation. You can't just do whatever you want without consequence.
Being around the people that you love, that you should be nice to and respect?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all love. You guys can come back together.
Why is
It's all love. You can come back together. So what she's saying is, if you love me, you'll accept my bad behavior, which is ridiculous, right? No, my love is contingent on your good behavior.
Is it considered rude to ask a woman her age or her weight?
Oh, I can answer this question. I actually answered it in a previous reaction video. So the reason is because women want to seek the most attractive man they possibly can. And if her age and her weight is exactly known, it makes the level of man that she can attain, it reduces it. And again, because women's goal as a species, right, like as a gender, is to maximize their agency. It maximizes their agency to not be totally known. That's why.
Oh, it's just something you just don't ask a woman.
But what's the reason?
I think it has a lot to do with women don't like to feel old or look old or.
Indeed. And there's a reason for that. It's because they know that there's a certain age where men find them the most attractive, and if they're past that point, then they're less attractive. They want to maximize their agency. Okay, let's see what she continues to say here.
Or care about their age at a certain point, so they'd rather not be asked any questions.
Indeed. So it's trying to control the narrative. Anyway, if you agree or disagree with my comments here, please leave a comment. If you're on the podcast, you can go to my YouTube videos and leave a comment there. Like, I don't mind. Okay, anyway, let's go on to our Reddit post here. 27 female without any friends or boyfriend. I just turned 27 days ago, and I feel like I have no friends and I've never had a boyfriend. That's a red flag, guys. If she's 27 without having had a boyfriend, it means she's had a string of bedroom fun partners, which is much worse, by the way. I take care of myself and never have a problem finding a date. Oh, there you go. She just told on herself. But the guys turn out to be pretty crappy and end up ghosting me or ending things with me before anything gets serious. Okay, so here's the thing. There are multiple reasons why this might happen. So either she is going for men that are too attractive, she is some sort of, she's very rude and people just don't want to deal with her. Or, she's entitled or whatever. It's something or some combination of these things. Or she thinks that she can do better than the guys she's with and she ends the relationship. And it's funny that she says that they turned out to be pretty crappy. Well, if they're so crappy, why don't you choose a better man, right? Like, there are many, many men that you can choose from. So why do you keep choosing the crappy ones? At a certain point, don't you have experience to know what a crappy guy acts like? Agency, responsibility, initiative to go after what you want in life. These are very important things. Wisdom. I'm a nurse practitioner and I've kind of put friends on the back burner for the past couple of years due to being in school for so long. Okay. My only friends now are 2 girls from high school, but they're both engaged. Uh-oh, jealousy. One of them hasn't really talked to me, and for my birthday, all she wrote was, "Happy birthday, hope it's a good one." So here's the thing. Engaged women will often not want to associate with friends in their past who are, let's just say, more wanting to have fun. And the reason is because they don't want their husband to go sleep with their friend, right? So they will shut them out. And of course, women will take it as a sign of low quality if their friend is unable to get engaged or married, right? One of them hasn't really talked to me, and for my birthday, all she wrote, okay. All I said was thank you in response. Then my other friend forgot my birthday and made up some excuse that she had it in a calendar a day late. However, she forgot my birthday last year too. Uh-oh. I'm in both of these girls' wedding. Just spent over 1,000 on the first girl's bachelorette party. It was out of town. And 200 on the other girl's bridesmaid dress. I ended up having lunch with the second girl yesterday, and she didn't even bring me anything for my birthday and barely asked how it was. I had to be the one to mention it. I just feel like I have no genuine friends, and I don't even want to be in these girls' weddings anymore. Yeah, so basically she's jealous. Her girls have seen that she's low quality, just sleeping around, and they're ditching her. And now, all of the bad decisions that she made up to the age of 27, they're all catching up with her, right? My closest friends are honestly my coworkers, but I'm about to switch clinic locations, and so I won't be able to see them as much. I just feel lost with my relationships. I'm a strong Christian. Right. Guys, this is a red flag too. If the girl says that she's a, reborn Christian or born again Christian or whatever, this is a red flag. It means that she spent the age of 16 to 27 sleeping around, and now she wants to, have a guy save her from her bad decisions. So that's a red flag for you. I refuse to do dating apps again. I thought it was going to say I refuse to do dating apps, but it says I refuse to do dating apps again because those just hurt my feelings. Well, so it's very clear, right? After saying the dating apps thing, she's just choosing guys that are too attractive. And of course, those guys don't want to commit because they have a million options. And so they just use her and then discard her, right? So she should choose better men. And she should have chosen better men from the age of 22, not now. Because the guys on online dating hurt my feelings and I'd get so attached to the guy only for him to ghost me or to end things a couple of weeks into dating. Any advice? Yeah. Don't get alpha widowed is the advice, which means don't use social media for validation and to sleep around. Like, if you do, this is what happens. You end up 35 with cats. It's already looking bad. This is looking like the wall, guys. Okay, here's the top comment. Thing is, you can't passively wait for friendships to happen. You have to show initiative and interest. Your two friends have probably made other closer friends since high school and assume you have as well. There's no shame in telling them, hey, I've been struggling to make new friends in recent years. You remain one of my closest friends to date. Do you want to go to lunch? It might feel embarrassing for you, but it'll let other person know that you're actually liked, that they're liked and needed. It'll make them make more of an effort too. Don't be scared to ask your coworkers to spend time outside of work either. That's how you make friends. You have to initiate. Yes, but here's the thing. When you have been handed everything on a silver platter for your whole life until you're 27, you believe that everybody should come to you with everything. Okay. Lots of unhelpful advice. Church is a great idea. Yeah, okay. Here we go. This comment that hurts men but helps women. It's a very good place to meet a man, church, but you have to put it out there. What I mean by is tell people you're looking for a serious relationship and potential marriage. They may introduce you to someone who's looking for the same thing at the moment. Relationships take work. It doesn't matter if they're friendships or romantic relationships. It's so important to voice your needs, otherwise people will assume you're fine. In all honesty, 2 to 3 friends and work friendships is okay if you're okay with it. Remember that if you're leaving a workplace, it's also a good opportunity to get some phone numbers and plan out work activities to keep in touch with your friends. So, here's the thing. That whole thing about saying, like, I'm ready to get serious now, I've had my fun, I'm looking to settle down, that stuff is a red flag. And you as a man, if you hear it from a girl, it means you need to avoid her because she's slept around and wasted her youth getting alpha widowed by multiple men. So you don't want anything to do with that. All right, I think we're going to end the episode there. Again, if you're liking the channel, new here, leave a sub, hit all for notifications. If you're on the podcast, give me a follow. Also, give me a 5-star rating on the review. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please remember to do all of the following. Like the video for the algorithm. Comment on the video. I respond to all comments and I'll give you a heart. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can see my content on your feed. Check out all of my content on other platforms. It spreads the reach of the channel. YouTube, bit.ly/heliosyoutube. Rumble, bit.ly/heliosrumble. My blog is realheliosblog.com. My podcast, bit.ly/heliospodcast. My Patreon, patreon.com/theheliosblog. You can also support the show at bit.ly/heliosdonations and buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Thank you so much for all of your support.